All right, so we found an interesting post on Twitter by NBA Memes, and it's basically asking us to compare and contrast Jordan Poole and Tyler Hero and to discuss which one is better, which one can come out on top. Let's get into that.
You know what? This was very difficult. And let me tell you why. Because when you look at Jordan Poole and Tyler Hero, if you wanted to, you can interchange them. I,
Mm.
I mean, they both were drafted in the same draft class. So they've been in the league for the same amount of time. What they about 122, 123, like 165, 164. What are we actually? And they both came off the bench. Like what? And if you look at their average points overall in the 2022 season, it's like who? Where's the difference? I struggled. I struggled. I was like, what are we discussing? That they're the same person? That
The same
what?
person.
I just is like, wow. What are your thoughts?
Well, when you look at it, Tyler Hero won Sixth Man of the Year, but Jordan Poole was right there as a runner-up.
Jordan Poole only because he played more, he started more. That was a
Yeah,
clear cut reason. One of the reasons why Jordan Poole did not get the Sixth Man of the Year, not because he wasn't capable, not because he didn't earn it. It's because he
right.
started too many games. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying Tyler Hero shouldn't have won it because I voted for Tyler Hero. I mean, I don't have an official vote, but I voted for Tyler Hero, right? Because I knew Tyler Hero only started 10 games. What Jordan Poole started 51 games. So
Hmm.
just by the start, knocked Jordan Poole out of the running really to even win Sixth Man of the Year. But really, had he probably started less, like 10 games or less, it would have been a tough decision for the voters to figure out which one would be Sixth Man of the Year.
But I think Tyler Hero only starting, would you say, 10 games? That was a calculated effort. He
Absolutely.
wanted to win the award. He knew if he played more as a starting shooting guard or point guard or whatever, he wasn't going to win it.
He wasn't going to win. And you know what? He needed to play more. That's the thing. That's why I agree with you. It was calculated, and he had the support of the Miami Heat's organization to do that because
Hmm.
technically he could have started more games. They needed him actually
Uh-huh.
to start
Uh-huh.
more games, especially since Duncan Robinson was MIA
For
for most of
sure.
the season. So they needed him to start. So they said, I believe the Miami Heat organization said, we support your desire to become Sixth Man of the Year. And so we will forego our need for you to start so you can win this award. And I'm glad he
Yeah.
won it because had he not won it, then it would have been a bust for them. But yeah, he could have most definitely started more games. Absolutely.
Yeah, but check it out. He also played starter minutes. He may not have started the game, but
Oh,
he played starter minutes.
I'm gonna need him to adjust the requirements for the Sixth Man of the Year. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Oh, good. Nice one. Nice one, Miami Heat. Y'all did that. But he did. He did have starter minutes for sure. Jordan
Yeah.
Poole, though, what I can say is that it was evident that the award wasn't something that he was trying to root for because he could have actually done the same thing with the Warriors. Like, I really want to get this award. Y'all, can y'all support the fact? Just don't give me starter minutes like they doing in Miami, but don't put me as a
Hmm.
starter on the roster. I think he could have done the same thing.
So let's talk about Jordan Poole. I mean, he had to play a larger role with Steph being out. I mean, at one point, he scored 25 points per game for 20 games straight. I mean, that was impressive. He has been a product of Warriors basketball, just playing within the system, launching threes, having fun, playing to the crowd. Steve Kerr allows him to do exactly that. I don't think there's so much as I don't want to say leash, but Steve Kerr allows players to be who they are within the system. I don't know that
Yeah.
Eric Spoelstra allows that for Tyler Hero. There's a
Uh,
different heat culture pressure over there.
I have to agree with that. I think that the Warriors do a good job of selecting players that will fit into their organization, right? Because Jordan
Hmm.
Poole has been there since he was drafted. Likewise, Tyler Hero has been with Miami since he was drafted. But I have to agree with you. I think that the Warriors culture embraces, picks the right person for their organization, and then embrace them to be able to be who they are because they already know what they're going to get. And Jordan Poole is a great fit. Like he fits the Warriors culture. And I can see him being, if they allow him, being the next face of I can see it. He can be potentially be
Hmm.
one of the next faces of the Golden State Warriors. So yeah, That's a good point.
Yeah, I think both players are very clutch. I mean, Jordan Poole hit some crucial shots in the NBA Finals, and had it not been for him, it may have been a couple of games, maybe one or two, that the Warriors did not win. So, man, Jordan Poole is not afraid to launch it, and he has amnesia. Like if he missed a couple of shots, he doesn't allow it to get his game off. Like he's Jordan Poole's next level. He's the next face for sure.
Yeah, another thing, I think Jordan Poole, as you mentioned, the amnesia. One of the other things that I've noticed from him is that if his shot is not going off, he don't have a problem driving to the basket. He ain't got no
Mhm.
problem. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't shoot right now. Let me meet you at the rim. He does that. And I was reading an article. I don't know who was by, but I was reading an article on Jordan Poole, and it talked about him having cat-like features. His mom used to say he has cat-like features. He loves cats, and so
Mm.
part of his uh, quickness, his shiftiness, his agility to be able to, get in and get out is due to, they attribute that to him liking cats. And I'm like, oh, I can
Mm.
see that. But he is really quick. He's so quick, and he can move past opponents like none of your business. I like it. I like it. Tyler Hero, though, I liked how he comes off the bench and he restarts the Miami Heat's offense. It's almost like it's a jump start when he
Mhm.
comes into the game. And I think because Kyle Lowry was not what I anticipated, Duncan Robinson did not show up. It was refreshing to see that Tyler Hero can come in and absorb those functions of playmaking, those functions of shooting that was missing from the Miami Heat in the 2022 season. And it really helped propel them to the top spot in the East. Trust me,
Mhm.
they are only there. And I know that Jimmy Butler is the man. I get Adebayo is it. I understand that. But Tyler Hero coming and reigniting their offense night after night during the regular season is one of the reasons why they were where they were, or how they ended the 2022 season. I would be remiss to not mention that. So, yeah, Tyler Hero was really
Mhm.
great coming off the bench. I understand that the Miami Heat organization has some concerns about him starting, that he has to earn his spot to start. So, you mean to tell me, Miami Heat, he has to earn his spot, and you think you're going to allow Duncan Robinson
Yeah,
to
Duncan.
start next season? And after you've seen the effort, the growth, and the consistency and the reliability that Tyler Hero was able to give you last season, although his playoff time may have been a little questionable, he was exhausted. Had everybody else held their end of the bargain, maybe he wouldn't have been so exhausted when it came to playoff time.
Mhm.
So he has to work for it. I can't. The audacity.
I think Tyler Hero had to face more defense than Jordan Poole. And the reason why I say that is because, look, when you got Stephen Clay on the court, Draymond or whoever,
That was a
players are
huge.
going to really key in on them. But for the Miami Heat, I mean, you could technically really lock in on Tyler Hero because I mean, Jimmy might go off in the regular season, but he's more so of a playoff Jimmy Butler. And then Bam did not have a good season last season.
Mm-hmm,
Duncan
mm-hmm,
Robinson couldn't get his shot going. So they were like, okay, Tyler Hero's hot. All right, let's focus in on him. And so maybe he faced, double teams and couldn't get to the rim or couldn't get his shot off as much as he normally could, as much as Jordan Poole could, because they were really focused on Steph, Clay, Draymond, maybe.
mm-hmm. That's fair. That's fair. Their systems were different. I agree with that. And it
Hmm.
allowed Jordan Poole to flourish because of that. I think that the Miami Heat could have done that as well had they been able to play more of their bench. Like can, the hang up with Kyle Lowry, I just, yeah, it was a disappointing season for me with him. And I also think that Poole is a lot more quick, shifty than Tyler Hero.
Hmm.
He can get in. Tyler Hero can, but it's a little bit different. I know one of the hangups that Tyler Hero has is that he has trouble getting to the free throw line. Well, it's because he don't want to, drive to the basket. I mean, as much. Poole ain't got no problem getting to the free throw line.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
gonna be all up and through the free throw line, and that's because when he know his shot is not hitting, he knows how to adjust. And hopefully, that will be something that Tyler Hero can prove to the Miami Heat organization during training camp, which will allow him to start next season.
Yeah. And Jordan Poole could hit his free throws, no problem. He's up there,
Or
90
like
plus
90.
percent.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you think Tyler Hero has peaked in terms of his talent level, I personally do not think Jordan Poole has even scratched the surface. I think he still has a ways to go. And because he won a championship, because he's gone deep into the playoffs, because he's been surrounded by Steph, Clay, I mean, future Hall of Famers, I think Jordan Poole, he hasn't even started. We haven't even seen the best of him quite
That's a
yet.
good point. I think that Tyler Hero the idea that Tyler Hero may have peaked is because of the system that he's in.
Oh, okay.
hmm I wonder, I wonder if Tyler Hero was with the Warriors, could this conversation be the reverse?
Interesting. Because he fits into that culture. I think
hmm
Tyler Hero fits.
Into a
Yeah.
culture.
The Warriors culture,
That's
if
my point.
you know.
That's my point. So I don't know. I think that Jordan Poole, his environment and the people he's playing with, because of their experience and their success in championships and being around that, gives him the leg up when we're talking about what the future looks like for Jordan Poole. Tyler Hero, unfortunately, doesn't have that around him. And I don't know if the culture of the Heat warrants that type of progressive development. I will say this: we won't
Mm,
see it if he comes off the bench. I will only know what his ceiling looks like if they allow him to start. Give
mm,
him that start. And I know he played starting minutes, but he wasn't the starter. You know what I'm saying? So that means that we're going to give you these minutes because we know we need to give you these minutes. But if they didn't need to give him those minutes, would he have had them? No.
mm.
Right?
Interesting. Yeah.
When you trust, I don't think that same mindset, although Jordan Poole came off the bench, I don't think that's the mindset of the Warriors. So
Hmm.
I just think the organization and the environments are a lot different in that regard. And I think that the Miami Heat environment could not allow Tyler Hero to flourish based off of their scheme. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So with all of that said, I mean, who you got? Who would you pick? Jordan Poole or Tyler Hero?
I will pick Poole. It'll be Jordan Poole for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be Jordan Poole for me because of where he is right now, the organization that he works for right now, the potential I see in him. And I'm not even saying that I can't see that potential in Tyler Hero. I believe he has it. I just think that his environment and the culture, I don't know if it's conducive to that for him based on
Mm.
who he's playing with. That's all.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, I have to pick Jordan Poole as well, just because I don't think that he scratched the surface, and we're
Mm.
still going to see progressive. We're going to see a more talented Jordan Poole. I see him putting in work in the off season, working with Steph Curry's trainer. I mean, he wants to be I don't want to say he wants to be Steph Curry, but he
Yeah.
wants to be on that level. He wants
Yeah.
to be on that level. And at one point during the season, Steve Kerr had to pull Jordan Poole aside and say, "Look, man, you're walking a very tight rope trying to be like Steph Curry. I need you to be who you are." And I thought that was very important for a young Jordan Poole to hear. Like
Yeah.
operate within your own, genius. Be who you are, be great, but don't try to be Steph Curry. But
Right.
it's nothing wrong with aspiring to be on that level. And I
Right.
think, that's the battle that Jordan Poole is going to have to face.
What do you think about their differences in defense?
Oh, I think Tyler Hero is way more defensive minded. If you want to lock up a defender, I'm going to go with Tyler Hero because of the system that he's currently in.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I say Jordan Poole, but Tyler Hero, there can be arguments where he could be the one I select too. Again, it's about the system. This is when the system comes into place, right?
Hmm.
Because if you look at their stats, if you look at their stature, if you look at the time they've been in the league, if you look at their success, the only difference between Tyler Hero and Jordan Poole is the fact that Tyler Hero was 6 Man of the year.
But Jordan Poole got that chip. So they both have hardware.
They do. They do. They do.
Hmm.
They do. They do. But they're both are scorers. They both can be
Yeah.
reliable on offense. You just mentioned that Tyler Hero is really good on defense. He can be good on
Hmm.
defense. There's so many things that they're similar. The things that they contrast are not that many, right? So again, it's about the system, and I think the system will dictate how far they go in the league.